Hello, how's everybody doing today? This is Pastor Green. We're going to be doing another Bible study today. Today's going to be Genesis chapter 40. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, if you have any questions, you can email me at godsohman@gmail.com. Genesis 40, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended their lord the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was wroth against these two of the officers, against the chief of the butlers, and against the chief of the bakers. Now, I don't really know why these men got sent to jail, but I suspect it was from the same incident. You see, the butler's job was to taste all the food and the drinks to check for poisons, and the baker's job was to cook the food. I'm guessing that the baker made something that tasted bad, and the butler was supposed to taste it, but he forgot, and because of this, it made the king upset. And he put them in the ward of the house of the captain of the guard, into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them, and they continued to season in the ward. And you can see Joseph. He was put in charge of all these people in the prison. His job was to basically take care of them, feed them, talk to them, deal with any kind of grievances. He was kind of like the guy in charge of the prisons. And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man in his dream in one night, each man according to their interpretation of his dream, and the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. And Joseph came into them into the morning, and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his lord's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sad today? And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpretation of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me them, I pray you. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and it said unto him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me, and in the vine there were 3 branches, and it was though it budded, and their blossoms shot forth, and the clusters therefore brought forth grapes. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes, and I pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, This is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head, and restore thee to thy palace. And thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into thy hand, after the former manner which thou wast butler. But think of me when thou shalt be with thee, and show me kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also I have done nothing, that they should put me in the dungeon. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, there had 3 white baskets on my head. And the uttermost part of the basket there was all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. And Joseph answered and said, This is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head from thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat the flesh off of thee. And it came to pass on the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all the servants. He lifted up thy head, and the chief butler of all the chief bakers among the servants. And you have to understand that the Pharaoh having a feast is not very uncommon. In Daniel 5, there was a Belshazzar, which was Daniel. There was a party, and then of course you had in Matthew, Mark, they had John the Baptist, where Herod's birthday, where he told his daughter, "You can have whatever you want," and Herodias danced, and they basically chopped off John the Baptist's head. And in Acts 12, the king killed James, and then he was going to kill Peter on Easter. And then later in verse 12, he was eaten by worms. And then in Esther 1, the king was throwing a big party, and Vashti, who was his wife, he basically called her in, and she didn't want to come in, so he ended up killing her because of that. So the king having a party is not very uncommon, and they usually do it on their birthday. And he restored the chief butler upon his butlership again, and he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. but he hung the chief baker. And Joseph, just as Joseph has interpreted to them, yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forgot him. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys checking out this Bible study. Again, if you'd like me to come to your church and speak, just email me at godsohman@gmail.com. And if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and comment below and ask me the question. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching.